Hey folks, Peter Kadar here. I wanted to make a video showing you how to make custom drum programs on the MPC Live and how to incorporate material from previously existing sample libraries. So to give you some background info, a few years ago I bought one of those drum bundles from samplesfrommars.com. And what they do is they sample vintage drum machines a zillion different ways and create these wonderful sounding libraries. Now some of those libraries have programming for MPC 1000 and 2500, which is great because then you can load them into the live. Other times you'll look in a folder and you'll just see like a stack of wave files. So here's how you get those wave files off your hard drive into the MPC and how to program those files once they're in your MPC to create drum programs. All right. Now, if you're new to the MPC ecosystem like I am, you're going to find that there's nothing to be intimidated about. It's actually really easy and fun to do. So let's get started. Now, the first thing I want to point out is that I've got the computer and the hardware here. I could do all of this stuff with just the hardware, but I find certain things easier on the computer and certain things more intuitive on the hardware. So that's why I'm using the MPC in controller mode right now. All right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with a new project. Now this is old, so I've already saved that. I can dash that. What I'll do is I'm going to go into my browser on my laptop here, and I see here samples from Mars stuff. I see a bunch of different, here's 808 samples. We're going to make an 808 library. So we're going to go to kit 5, and here it looks like about 16 samples. What I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all of these. I'm going to drag them into the software under the samples window. So now they're in the machine. Next step is to get these assigned to pads. Now when I assign samples to pads, I try to follow the convention that I noticed with the MPC expansions and all the built-in content, where the kicks are kind of over on the left and then snares are next to those. Hi-hats are here, and then usually percussion or sound effects or whatever kind of further up. So I find that works really well, and I like to do it that way because if I'm opening different things in different projects, I want to try to keep consistency between the way all my kits are arranged. So let's start with some bass drums. So I see, looks like these are 808s that have been sampled through a 1200, so that's pretty cool. It's a neat thing that these folks do is they give you a bunch of different options and with different treatments and tape saturation and different samplers. So let's listen. You can hear some of that aliasing because of the sample from the resampling because it's on a 1200. That's cool. That's cool. All right. Now that short sample, I like that one. I think I would probably use that one the most. So I'm going to pull that to the front of the pads. I find that I like to go from, when it comes to kick drums, I like to go from shorter decay to longer decay. But of course, any of these longer ones, I could go in and dial them back if I want. I might repitch that third one. So here they go now. Yeah, I might repitch that third one, but we'll see. Okay, let's go to some snares. Let's grab some snares. So I see snare repitched and saturated. I think that's what that stands for. So I'm going to grab the saturated one. That sounds good. I'll grab this one. That's much higher. I'm going to probably lower that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't need it to be that high. Let's grab some hats. So looks like I've got 2 open hats, 2 closed hats. So I'll go, here's the clean one. And then looks like this is a repitched one. So I'm guessing it's going to go lower and higher. Oh, pitched lower. Well, let's see what the open hats sound like. I'll put the repitch next to that one. I'll put the clean one next to this one. Let's see if they match. Yep. Yeah. So at first I wasn't crazy about this, but when I hear it with that, because they're matched in pitch, I think that's kind of cool. So you get different flavors. I think that's actually really cool. Okay, so now let's see. Do we have bring the clap in here? All right. Right. Okay, and let's see. I see we have a couple of cymbals. I'll probably put those on this side because they're part of the Those sound almost exactly the same. Yeah, they sound really similar. Anyway, next I will grab the... let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, I got the maracas. And I got a clave. That's really high. I might want to pitch that down. And I've got one... Oh, conga. Okay. You know what? I'm actually good with that because then the percussion's still going from high to low, which I like. So, all right, we've got our samples assigned. The next thing I want to do is I want to color code all of these samples. So, or not the samples, I want to color code the pads. So I'm going to do that on the hardware. So I'm going to hit menu. I'm going to, on the bottom right corner here, I see pad color. So I'll hit that. And my dial is on this top left parameter. This chooses a couple of different options for velocity and how the colors respond. And I just crank it all the way to the right. I like the pads to be nice and bright. I want those colors to pop. And then when I hit it, they get even brighter. Now, I want to make each pad family a different color, or each sample family a different color. So I'm going to select single pad, and then I'm going to get the color red because I like to do all of my kicks in red. I'm going to get the darker yellow and do my snares. And then I'm going to do my hi-hats. Whoops. These are actually hi-hats. Those are darker, so I'll choose the darker yellow. There we go. And then, let's see, what else did we have? The clap. I like to have that be nice and bright. And let's see, the cymbals. You know what, because that's basically white noise, I'll have those be white. And then the percussion on the top, I'll go sort of it's an ugly color. That's nicer. And then, so kind of a lighter and darker green. And then I have the, what is it, the Kadar, what's it called? Oh yeah, the maraca. So, yeah, I can have that be like that. That's fine. So, now I've chosen my colors. Back to the home screen. The next thing I want to do is I want to create a couple of choke groups for those hi-hats. So I want to be able to have the closed hats cut off the open hats like a real drum kit. So what I'll do is I'll go to menu, I'll hit program edit, and I should point out that the first time I tried to do this, I was initially thrown off because I was originally under the master tab, and when I saw this mute target and this polyphony thing, I thought that between those two things that would create the mute groups. Turns out what I was looking for was actually under the LFO modulation tab. So let's hit that. Now, this parameter in the upper left corner where it says mute group, that's what we're looking for. So what we want to do is you want to have, whatever you want to have get cut off, you want those to be in the same mute group. So I'm going to choose this hi-hat and I'll put it in mute group 1, and then I'll choose the pad that I want it to be able to cut off, and I'll put that in group 1. So now listen. Right? Now, I could have these be controlled by the same mute group, but because the sound is so different, I think might be nice to put this in a different mute group. So I'll put this in mute group 2, put this in, 2, hit this pad, put it in mute group 2. So now, so that is not cut off by that, and that isn't cut off by that, but they cut each other off relative to their tuning. So these are grouped together, and these are grouped together, and I think that makes musical sense. So now let's just play it, make sure we're happy. Yeah, okay, great. Cool. All right, yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, so the next step is, did I say I wanted to repitch something? That one. So I'm going to go to Program Edit. I'll go to Samples. I'm going to lower that. Let's go down 4. Huh. It looks like it's the same sample. What happens if we put this one down? Don't like that. Yeah, not gonna worry about it too. Yeah, they are a different sample. They are slightly different. Anything else I want to change? Yeah, that's way too high. I don't need that. So I'm gonna put that down. That's a little better. What happens if I go down an octave? Whoops. That's cool because they're kind of the same, similar pitch now, different articulation. I'm cool with those. I'm gonna lower that. That's good. Now they kind of match in pitch. Yeah, they are different. You know what? I'm going to do something interesting. I'm going to pan that a little left, pan this one a little right. Just to do something different. Okay, so now yeah, I'm happy with that. So next thing I want to do, I want to give it a name. I could do this on the hardware, but I'm going to do it here. So I'll just say 808 Kit 5. All right. Now the next thing I need to do is I need to save this. So we're going to go to the bottom right corner, hit the pencil icon, hit Save Current Program. Now I could scroll through to the folder I want on the hardware, but I find it easier on the software. So I'll go to Akai MPC 1, which is my SD card. And then I see samples from Mars. Open that up. Go to 808 from Mars. And I've got my 4 kits there, and then 808 Kit 5. Save. Cool. Now we should be able to check that this works, so I'll start a new project, clear everything out, and then I'll go into my browser, and there's 808 Kit 5. If it loads, now here we go. Love it. So there you go. Now I thought this was important to show because if you're a new MPC owner like I am, you might want to be purchasing a couple of libraries or a couple of sample packs or whatever, and some of those sample packs might predate the live or predate this generation of the MPC. So even if they don't have MPC programming, it's actually really easy and intuitive to get all this stuff to the pads, get it into the computer, get it into the pads, get it in your MPC, customize it the way you want, make your programs, and that just opens up so many more options for you. You don't have to wait for someone to come out with a specific expansion or something. You can roll your own, and I think that's super cool. So I hope you found this video valuable. Please, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. Find me on social media, on Facebook and Instagram. You can go to Peter Kadar Live, see all the stuff I get up to, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you found it helpful. Stay safe. See you next time.